everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today I'm finishing up my Riverdale series and creating Veronica. I'm so excited to create Veronica Lodge. She is played by Camila Mendez and she's so beautiful and I love Veronica's character. She's so layered and you don't really know what to expect from her, which is something I love about her. So I was really excited to create this look and I ended up giving you two of her eye looks because a lot of her looks, she doesn't have anything in her lower lash line, but she does have a smoky lash line a lot, so I wanted to give you both of those. She also does wear a nude lip every once in a while, but I just went ahead and gave you the berry lip. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. I'm so excited to film Veronica. This is the second time I'm doing it because last time just didn't come together. So I'm going to start out and use my Aquaphor Repairs and Protects lip protectant just to give a little bit of moisture to my lips before we get started. I'm going to start out by using the NYX Shine Killer Primer, and I'm not going to use it in the center of my face. I've been noticing a lot of issues with my under eyes and on my nose, so I'm trying to see what happens if I don't prime those areas with this primer, but I am going to go right in here. So Veronica is probably the most makeup girl on Riverdale. You could argue Cheryl because Cheryl does wear a lot of makeup, but I think a lot of it has to do with her red lip. I do think Veronica is the one that would take the most amount of time in the morning to get ready. So yeah, we're gonna create Veronica. I'm so excited. So it starts to feel nice and tacky and ready to go. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia Kashuk Satin Matte Foundation. I filmed this look about a week ago. I should not. This look, and it just did not, it's not that the makeup didn't come out well. I was really happy with how the makeup came out actually, but the footage just wasn't great, so I'm refilming it. And I don't really remember half the steps I used, so this should be fun. So I love the finish of this foundation for Veronica. She has that sort of satin matte look to her skin. Like it does, you can tell that she put on foundation in the morning. She didn't just get up out of bed, but she has that flawless skin look, that it's not caked on, it's not lightweight, and I love how this foundation looks because it gives a very nice skin finish to the skin. Also, I just need to put out a disclaimer. I'm hoping that my face matches like my neck and chest, but I was at the beach last week and I did get a little bit of sunburn and sun. This is tan for me, but my face only got a little red and now it's sort of back to normal-ish. So I've been trying to like match my face to the rest of my body. So I have about 2 layers of that foundation on, and then I'm going to go in with my normal concealing and concealer highlighting routine. So I left my under eyes pretty bare just because I was noticing like caking and creasing and it was really bad. So I've been trying to sort of keep that bare and only go in with my concealer under my eyes. So I'm going in with the NYX Gotcha Covered Full Coverage Concealer. Y'all know how I feel about this. I love the consistency of it. I love how it looks under the eyes. And I'm actually gonna try it if I can find a clean one. I was gonna try it with a brush. I wonder if this will be too big. I'm just gonna go with my beauty blender. I actually liked what that did by putting it down with the brush first and then blending it in. Just making sure to get rid of all of those creases, and then whatever's left of the beauty blender, I'm just gonna take over all my spots because I do have a couple breakouts peeking through, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and highlight using my Tarte Shape Tape as always. Veronica is definitely, out of all the characters, she's from New York. She's super trendy. She has like her own vibe to her. She's definitely the character in the show that would be up on makeup trends. So I think she would be doing contouring and highlighting and things like that. Even though she's in high school, especially today, like kids in high school do watch YouTube and things like that, and I think she would be one of those girls that would be like super into her makeup and making, I mean she is, like you can see in the show, she has everything set. I always do this. I always start a sentence and then I can't think of the word, so I just keep pouncing my face and then I say the word 3 seconds later, and it's so weird when I'm editing it. That's that, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this because I'm not using any other cream stuff today. And I'm actually gonna go in with a different powder. Okay, there's something in my eye. I'm gonna go in with a different powder today. I'm gonna use the NYX finishing powder, and it's the HD finishing powder. Because we don't want like a cakey powder finish. We just want something that'll set the foundation to keep it in place and keep oils from coming through. And then to settle this down, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with the Marie Badescu facial spray. Camila has a pretty angular face already, so I'm gonna go ahead and chisel out my cheekbones a little bit to give that like you know, not like the sharp cut you cheekbones, but her contour is like popping. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this little brush right here, and I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild. Perks of filming by a window. I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild contour duo, and this is in the shade Dolce de Leche. Press in my contour, and it's gonna help warm up the face, give some definition, and give it the contour that Ronnie has. I like most contouring, starting at the top of the ear and then coming down, and I sort of feel my cheekbone, like I can feel my bone pretty well. And this is sort of where the bone stops, but I don't want to carve out that cheekbone. I want to pretty much draw a line to my lip. So that's how I take it, especially since I want Ronnie's look. I'm going to sort of restructure my face a little bit. Some non-invasive plastic surgery, if you will. And taking it up on the temples very lightly and around the forehead. What am I doing? Why? I literally had this sitting here the whole time. This is literally what it's for. Side note, I will be filming my How to Become a Snapchat filter very soon. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my beauty blender just because I feel like it's a little muddled over here. Now Ronnie's blush, Veronica, her blush kind of varies. Some days it's a little heavier, but I feel like she's not so much a blush girl. Maybe she is. You can argue with me if you want. But I am going to go into my Morphe 9B blush palette, and I am going to I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And the placement of this is super important. She really doesn't have it on the apples of her cheeks. She has it sort of pushed back here on her cheekbones and has it sort of like flushed out. So that's what we're gonna do. These blushes in particular are super, super pigmented, so you do not need a lot on your brush. And then she does have just the tiniest bit on the apples of her cheeks, so I'm just gonna swirl it in, and whatever's left on my brush will deposit there. And I'm gonna leave the highlight for now. I love when this foundation settles because it sort of gives this like natural highlight, if you will, and that's sort of what she's got going on. It doesn't really look like she's highlighted, so I'm gonna leave it and then at the end see what's going on. Alright, so you're zoomed in. I'm gonna start off with the brows, and Veronica's brows are super dark, super arched. So I'm gonna start off with the same, I'm gonna use the contour shade? No, I'm gonna go into Being. I'm gonna go into my Stila eyeshadow palette and go into my trusty favorite brown eyeshadow to fill in my brows with. This is Being, and this is gonna be the base, and then I'm gonna go over that with my Anastasia Dip Brow to give the look of Veronica's brows. So I'm gonna start out at the outer corner with the arch. She doesn't have a very defined tip of her brow like tail, but she has a super defined arch. So we're gonna have to fake my arch a little bit. And it is pretty much where my arch happens, sort of. And then the head of her brow is pretty square. So there's no feathering effect, nothing like that. Okay, so once that part's done, it's time to go in with the dip brow and set everything. And this is just gonna define everything a little bit more and really darken up the brows. And my shade that I like to go in with is soft brown, because Veronica's brows do completely match her like black raven hair. So whatever color your hair is, just match it. Or if you want to like super commit, get a black wig and then you can do your brows black. And Veronica, Camila, her brows are really long. She has a bit of a wider face than I do. I have like pretty tiny brows, but they like fit into my face. So the head of her brow seems a lot longer to me. And then the tail of her brow kind of accentuates her eye. So what I did to sort of imitate the length of her brow is I brought the length of my brow out a little bit, but still framed my eye the same way, so it ends up evening out pretty well. But the main point of her brows is they're dark, completely filled in, square head, super defined arch. It is easier to do these like super defining things with a dip brow, I feel, so I'm able to really create the brow head that I want, create that arch definition that I want. And I'm gonna go back in with a concealer to clean everything up, just because I feel like I gave myself a little bit of angry brow here. And then I'm gonna take a pretty small brush and my concealer and just clean up the edges of the brow. And I don't want to highlight my brow, so this is why I did this before my eyeshadow. So my lid color is completely the same because I've set my lid with this concealer. We're so close to being done. Ah! Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my lid using Light from the Stila palette. I probably should have pulled out all my brushes first, but you know, this is how we roll. Creases, setting that eye. I'm going to start out with the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick. This is in the shade Heather Steel, and I'm very lightly going to add this into my crease. I think I'm going to use this brush because it's, I don't even remember what brand this is. My Beauty Spot. It's a dense brush, but it's also fluffy, so it's going to be good to place it and blend it out. She has a pretty defined crease and has sort of like a, she's a smoked out outer corner, so we're going to play around a little bit since I wasn't too happy with what I did last time, but that outer corner does have a pretty defined V. So just like that, there's literally a V in the outer corner. And then I'm going to take another brush to blend it out. I'm going to take this brush because it is pretty dense. This is the Sephora Rounded Smudge. They don't make this brush anymore because they completely redid their brush line, but I'm sure you can find something similar. And very lightly, I'm going to blend this out and drag it through my crease. You have to work fairly quickly with these products from Bobbi Brown, the Longwear Shadow Sticks, but they stay creamy for a fair amount of time that you can place them and then have time to blend them. And I'm making sure, do you see how I'm making sure to diffuse that up like this? Because she has that sort of diffused shadow in her outer corner. And then she has what looks like a soft cut crease, so I'm not going to be too worried about really blending out my crease for like that smooth look. I am gonna leave it pretty smoked out and there because she does have like a cut in her crease, but it's not like a cut crease. So I guess like more like a halo eye kind of. There's definitely less product on this eye, which is why it's sort of like more like a gray brown than this eye is, but I am going to go in with powder anyway, so I'll just make sure to even out the colors with powder. I don't want to keep going in with the cream because then it'll just get really muddled and not how I want it. So just want to make sure that we have the basis, sort of like a template already. Okay, and then I'm going to go in to, do not judge me, but it just has the perfect colors for this, okay? I'm going into the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. I know I've been using this a lot lately, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna be taking these two shades right here. I don't have their names in front of me, but I'll put them on the screen. I'm gonna take that lighter shade on this brush. This is the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow brush, and this is mostly for the lid, but I love the rounded edge of this because I can really get into my crease as much as I want. So I'm going to dip into that lighter shade first, tapping off excess. We're just going to, this is going to set that cream shade so it won't move and also define what we've done a little bit more. Just like that, nice and easy. Not a lot of shadow, because we don't want to cover up that color too much. I did really like the sort of grayness of the black because her eyes don't really have like a warm tone to them. They are sort of more like a cool tone brown, but I did have a really hard time creating her eye the last time. I felt like I just used too many products, and now I'm only using 3. Now the shadows we do want to make sure are blended. There's like some patchiness happening here. Okay, and then very lightly on top with, I'm going to take this tapered brush because I can be really precise with it. I'm going to take that darker shade from the palette and just run this through my crease. Okay, so eyeshadow is done, and then I'm just going to go ahead and set that lid one more time with this shade. There are some looks where it looks like she might have a shimmer on her lid, but I'm just going to do a completely matte lid. Veronica does have winged eyeliner, so I'm going to go ahead. I have a couple products here just in case things sort of don't work for me. I'm going to start with my Too Faced sketch marker, and her liner is really thick and her wing is really short. Her wing isn't really defined, it's just sort of there. So I'm not really focusing on having the sharpest wing. I want to make sure that the idea of the wing is there. I'm getting this liner super thick. I am scared to use this. I'm going to put this away. And I'm going to trust myself with the Inglot gel liner. So that's it, and then I'm just going to fill in anywhere that it's really patchy. I'm going to go ahead and fix up the other side. So I'm going to stop there for fear of messing anything up, and also I'm putting false lashes on, so. Okay, and then going in with mascara, I'm going to do the Tarte, wow, it's completely rubbed off, the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. Lashes are really long and thick, then you could absolutely leave it with no false lashes, but to give the effect of Veronica, I'm going to go ahead and pop on lashes. I'm going to do that off camera, and then we're going to come back for the lips. So I went ahead and put my little outfit on that I always have on for the girls, because I'm going to show you 2 different eye looks for Veronica. The lashes that I put on are by Eylure and Vegas Nay, but I can't remember what the name is, and I also feel like they might be a little long for this look, but I'm also not bothered by it at the same time, so we'll see how everything comes together in the end. So for the lips, I'm going for Veronica's Classic Berry Lip. So I'm going to go into my Anastasia lip kit, and I'm going to mix the shades 5 and 10 together, and that's looking like it's going to create the right shade. Now, you could leave this color on its own, but her berry is super specific, and I feel like it does need the other shade put in with it. So I'm going to take another lip brush and just very lightly put number 10 in with number 5. I think that's the color. Wow, I'm super happy with that. Let me just take a look. I feel like the look could use a little bit of glow, so not too heavy. I'm going to go in with a Wet n Wild. I'll have a Cosmo. Oh yeah, that's doing it for me. Okay. Light, and I'm going to spray my face with the Mario Badescu facial spray. Okay, so this is look 1 with the under eye completely neutral. I didn't shadow it, I only added mascara under there. Now I'm going to add in some eyeliner on my lower waterline and into my lower lash line and smoke it out. And that's another one of her looks. I wanted to show both eye looks, and I'm not going to do the nude lip that she does. This is more like her signature lip, but her eyes are kind of signature both ways, so I wanted to show both. I'm going to go in with my trusty Marc Jacobs gel crayon. You know what? I'm going to zoom you guys out because I'm not going to be able to get this on camera if you're zoomed this close in. So that's the lower waterline lined, and then I'm just going to go in with a very small angled brush and lightly smoke out that lower lash line. So this is the finished look. Smoked out the lower lash line, and everything is all set with setting spray. The hair is pretty close to what her style is. It's kind of like either straight or sort of waved, so this is the best I can do with my voluminous hair in this humidity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you liked seeing both looks for the eyes and seeing how I created Veronica. I had so much fun doing this series. If you haven't seen Betty or Cheryl, I'm going to link them down below and put all 3 of these videos into a playlist, and I'm really hoping that I get some more looks in season 2 coming out in October, I think, September, October. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And if there are any other characters or looks that you want me to create or put my own spin on that I would create in like a day-to-day world, then please let me know who you want me to create, and I would be so happy to do that for you. Please go ahead and follow me on my social media. My Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are down below as always, so I would love to hang out with you guys over there, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!